वॉल्यूम से बढ़ेंगे वही पोर्शन।
Climatic conditions, soil requirements, methods of cultivation, processing and distribution of cotton, GST, tea and coffee. Okay, climatic conditions, methods of processing, distribution. Okay. Tea. I think it's okay, no?
Can I go to
Yes, we will learn from that volume. Volume is having that in brief and easy way.
Maxi volume for that.
Huh?
1 minute maxi volume. Yes. We'll study from here.
Everything is that is what I told you. See, these are also cash crops. Okay, it's a continuation of that cash crops which we have studied earlier. These cash crops are categorized into two. One is fiber crops. What are fiber crops? From that thread is separated. So in that fiber crops, two types we have to study: cotton and jute. They are the natural fibers. What is natural fiber or artificial fiber?
Fiber.
Produced from that crops. Okay. The artificial fibers. Can you give some example?
Polythene.
nylon,
Plastic and
Nylon, terine, tecrine, or like that. Okay. So all these are artificial. So these two are to be studied first, cotton and jute. Then the second part is about the beverage crops. Beverage crops also two. Tea and coffee. Understood. So let us start with the this first beverage fiber crops. That is cotton and jute. See, why this cotton is known as cash crop? Yes, can you see? Your name is Aditya.
Do you remember our names?
No, one by one. This one is what called? Athlete. Okay. No, slowly I'm trying to. So many students, and afterwards I'm not remembering. But I want to remember you. And I'm sitting in the right is. So, Priya, no? Aditrika. Okay. Your name? Pranchal. Okay. Aditya. Your name?
Yes.
Because last time I called you by name, no?
Because I was there sitting there silently.
Okay. Silently, that is why I called you. Okay. I'll try to. Because so many students are there. All the branches and I have to remember at least few. By the end, I will remember, but now I am getting only 1 month.
And by Sunday, we get the mark.
Sunday, you will not get.
The next Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday.
If I am checking that it's Sunday, then they have to enter that.
After entering, they'll bring here.
Bringing here also by this thing also you will get, no? Mobile, mail you will get marked. But I have to go there, no? Nowadays I am not going.
The question is about mentioning two things and 2 marks are given. So we have to just write the names because, right?
That two names were.
If any question comes in exam, I ask to mention things.
Mention means, see, whatever is there, you have to write, clarify it, no?
Why? Because it's for 1 mark only. Yeah?
1 mark.
For
You
two
asked
marks,
2 marks.
two questions are asked.
2 questions are asked. No.
You have to
One
mention two
question.
things. You have to
Two
mention
things, no. See, you have to clarify, no. See, if I am asking a question that is, which are the 2 fiber graphs, you can name it. That is given clear answer for it. But there are some questions, it is not giving a clear cut answer. That is the sense of that. That what you have to write in a sentence. That is true. Clarify it. Understood? Here, just name is enough. But some questions that is not enough. You get it? That is what the mistake many are committing. For example, see, military courses. You are writing about so many names, that heading. That is what in the key also sometimes given. But you are when you are writing, you just write that what is that. I am knowing, you are also knowing, but it should be clear now. So one sentence you write what it is. So many answers that one is not coming. You may give that reason that answer give you a C there. But when you are not getting in the board, whom you will answer? Where you are using your marker, you cannot come to me. The CBSE has opened that
Recheck.
to see the paper first, find that one, then ask for that correction. So many procedures.
Fees 500,000.
700 is first. AC 1.
There.
Okay. Did you get the meaning? When that kind of answer to be given clarity, then you have to write. If one word is sufficient, okay. What type of soil? Rigor soil you have to write, means rigor if you are writing it's enough. But what are the characteristics of rigor soil? So you have to clarify it, no? Now, what are the contents of that laterite soil? So you are just writing that laterite soil is crystalline. No, 0 mark only will come. What it contains, what is deficient of. That is what the way you have to present. Okay. Yes. Cotton. We are going. Can you read that one, cotton? Cotton. One more thing. Before that, why this cotton is called as a cash crop? It is produced mainly for sale purpose. That is why it is called cash crop. Secondly, it is also a plantation crop. What is plantation crop? That is the crops are planted in an estate, large area. One single crop is planted. So along with the cotton, no other crop is planted. Understood? One single crop is planted. So it is also called as plantation. Did you understand? It is a cash crop because it is cultivated or grow for selling purpose. Secondly, it is a plantation crop, large area meant for a single crop. Got it? Now, cotton.
Cotton. Second in production area. Fourth
In production area.
Fourth in production.
Fourth in
Production.
so what is that? Fourth in production. PDN is production. When I learned economics, that I learned in that short writing. Okay. What is that? Fourth in production means in the production of cotton, it is fourth in the world. That is what the fourth in production. Second in the area which is meant for cotton cultivation. Did you understand?
Yes.
This two difference. Tell.
Cotton is the most important fiber used in making clothing.
Most important fiber for cloth making. Yes.
China is the world's leading producer of cotton. 18.8 million bales in 199-99 followed by USA.
199 dash. See, what is that? 1998 to 99, that was that. Okay. That could be corrected. You just write 1998 to 99. Okay. Yes. See, we have seen second in the production area, fourth in production. Then China is the leading producer. When we study about rice also, China is first. Wheat also, China is first. Now here, cotton also, China is the leading producer of cotton production. Clear?
Yes.
Now, what are the climatic conditions?
Climatic condition. Cotton is tropical crop and raised in India as kharif.
Tropical crop, then with kharif season or kharif crop. Yes. Okay.
Temperature 21 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius and at least 200 frost free days.
These points you have to remember very carefully. This one is 21 degree to 30 degree and 210 frost free days. 210 only, no?
200.
Textbook words, please check. 200 or 210?
200.
200, okay. One crop it is given 210. That is what, or somewhere in some books, NCRT, I think so. 210 I have seen. That is very good. 200 frost free days. What is that? Frost is harmful for sugarcane. We have studied. Now, at least 200 frost free days. Now, that is why in northwestern part of India and extreme northern part, this cannot be grown. Because there are always possibility of frost. So, mostly it is grown in Maharashtra and that where black soil is available. That is the area where it is grown. Why? The climate is very much suitable in this region. So how many frost free days? 200.
Rainfall 3 centimeter to 75 centimeter well distributed during the period of month.
That is 50 to 75. So it should not have more rainfall. That also well distributed. Means if the rainfall is very high during few days and not having rainfall, no, it should be evenly distributed. Then only it can get. Then otherwise, the cotton balls will get damaged. So that is why well distributed. This much is clear?
Soil requirements need black soil, fever, alluvial soil and laterite soil.
See, it is written, regal soil is the best suited for cotton cultivation. That is why that soil is also known as cotton soil, black cotton soil. Regal soil is the black soil. It is also known as black cotton soil just because it is good for the growth of cotton. Clear? So that is the best suited. Even alluvial soil also it can be grown, but not that much. Nowadays, many crops are grown in the other regions also by creating conditions for it. But the best condition is black soil. Okay. Soil you understood, no? Yes. You. Methods of cultivation.
Methods of cultivation. The seeds are sown by broadcast method or by drills. 6 to 8 months.
So what is that? Here, two methods are that is sorry. Broadcasting or drilling method. That is what the sowing is done. And that growing season is 6 to 8 months or
6 to 8.
textbook once again. That is from 6 to 8 months. So we have seen sugarcane. It is 10 to 18 months. Cotton 6 to 8 months. Okay.
Sowing is mostly done before the onset of the rains.
Here, as black soil is good for. Did you learn that the soil?
Yes.
So,
Drainage. Drainage.
not a drainage. The soil resources is chapter. Chapter is
No.
But that with black soil is much.
खत्म हो गया
खत्म
थोड़ा सा बाकी है
खत्म हो गया.
Learn
yes
research. Sorry, what I have
Black soil is.
black soil. What is the peculiarity? It is sticky in nature. It become what is formed? The cracks used to be formed when it is dry. During the summers, cracks used to form. That is helping that aeration, air movement. That is, it is a self-ploughing method. Now, when rain start, what will happen? Tilling will be difficult. As it is sticky, then tilling cannot be done. So, this particular soil, after the pre-monsoon showers, people used to till the soil and make the land ready. So that is what it is written. Sowing is mostly done before the onset of monsoon. If it is delayed, then what happen? Sometimes a heavy rain lashes, or sometimes it can cause flood and all. So they cannot do the agricultural activity. So just before the onset of monsoon, I am not talking about the monsoon did not start like that. So the heavy rain start for few days. You learned about the climate also, no? So that is why. So that heavy rain when it comes, it will affect the growth of this cotton. That is why before the onset of monsoon, the land will be made ready and the sowing of the seeds will be done. Continue.
harvesting and processing. The crop is harvested in October when the cotton crops ripen and burst into white, fluffy, and shiny balls of fire.
Fiber. See, what is that a kharif crop? That is normally June, July, sowing is done and harvesting is done by October. So if that pre-monsoon showers happen in the month of April, May, so it will be done earlier and the harvesting will be in October. So fluffy balls used to get ready or that it used to appear, then that time harvesting will be done. So flowering and then that the balls have to be prepared and fluffy thing will come, then the outer shell used to start burst. So it is about to come out. So before that, it will be harvested. Next, 3 to
The crop is harvested in 3 to 4 pickings as the balls mature.
so it is not getting ready all together. So 4 pickings will be taken. That is the first one which is ready will be plucked first. Then next one, as it is getting ready, it will be plucked like that. 4 pickings will be done. Okay.
After the harvesting, the cotton crop passes through the following process. Ginning,
This each one you have to understand. What are the processes? Okay. So this much is clear now. After harvesting, what all things have been done. So first process is ginning. What is ginning?
ginning is a process used to separate the fibers or lint from the cotton seeds and the short fibers or sinters which adhere them.
See, from that balls, that fiber have to be separated. Not only that fiber, there are seeds also. So a kind of spindler is there. The spindler help to separate this cotton and the seed. So seed can be separated through the process of ginning. So ginning is a process done for separating that lint and the seed. Did you understand clearly? What process is used for separating seed from lint? Ginning. Okay.
After the cotton has been picked either by machine or by hand, it is ginned. The seeds may be crushed to yield oil. The residue being used them for cattle fodder.
So what is happening after ginning? We will get the lint separately and the seeds separately. So all the seeds may not be getting separated. So that whole seeds have to be separated by manually also. That is after that spindler is doing. Then afterwards, whatever is left out to be separated by hand. And then the seeds will be sent to the factories for extracting oil. Understood? After extracting oil, that material, what is the cake or whatever things left over, is given as cattle feed. Got it? Ginning. Then what happen? The seeds will be sent to the factories for extracting oil. And that oil, cotton seeds oil, is not an edible oil. It is used for other purpose. It's not used for cooking purpose. Okay?
The cotton lint itself is bought for transport to the manufacturing regions.
So then you see that it is getting in the form of a bundle only. Only seed is separated. Now the thread has to be separated. So this bundle, the bales, seems to be sent to the factories for separating that fiber. Okay, did you get this thing? After harvesting, ginning is done. In the ginning process, the seeds are separated with the help of a spindler. Then after that, what happened? It will be prepared in bales or packed in bales and sent to the factories for making fiber. Okay.
The silver is fed to the fibers are washed and then combed to form a rope-like mass of fibers known as silver.
Sliver.
Sliver. The
Not
sliver
the-
is fed to the
You just
spindles.
remember that fibers, fibers are known as sliver, not silver. Please, when you are writing, underline that part very carefully. Some are writing silver. Sliver is that fiber which we get. You know that cotton which is making, that is very bright white substance. But when you are wearing, we all are wearing the dresses. So this dress is having different colors. So that white one has to be changed into different colors by using dyes. So the whole process is coming. So ginning over, then oil is produced, then afterwards it is sent to the factories where the sliver is made. Sliver is that a fiber.
Varieties of cotton. Short staple less than 2.2 centimeters. Medium staple 2.2 to 2.8 centimeters. Long staple above 2.8 centimeters.
See, these three varieties of cotton are there. Okay, the very big this thing is given.
Five.
Five are there. Okay, can you read that five?
Superior long staples, superior medium staples, and short staples.
So mainly we can divide it into short, medium, and long staple.
And understand the right three.
Yes. Because superior long, then long staple. So like that, each one is divided into that way. So what is the length of it? Long staple is 2.8 centimeters or 27 millimeters. Okay. Medium staple is 2.2 to 2.8. That is 26 millimeters. Short staple less than 2.2. So here, why this one we are learning? Some of the looms or looming machines in India cannot support this kind of staples. That means different varieties. Understood? So we have to import that long staple. Long staple production is less. Our industries can support the long staple, but we are having less production in the long staple. Got it?
Yes.
Is it clear? Three varieties. Short staple, what is the thing? Less than 2.2 centimeters. And medium staple 2.2 to 2.8 centimeters. Long staple above 2.8 centimeters. Distribution.
Distribution. Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, Telangana, and Karnataka.
These are the black soil regions. So Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra. So second place is Maharashtra only. Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, and Karnataka. Okay. Who will read? You just read. Jute.
Jute is the most important fiber in India, obtained from the inner bark of two important species, Corchurus and Capsularis, and Corchurus olictorius. The jute plant grows to a height of 2 to 4 meters. Its fiber in the inner bark is soft and strong and can be drawn out into yarn of good lengths. The white jute accounts for 75% of total area under jute in India. It is hardly highly adaptable and grows well on both lowlands and uplands. So, Tosa jute is grown only on uplands as it averse to flooding and occupies about 25% of the total jute area in the country. It is used for manufacturing rough quality cloth, sacks, and other packing material. Jute is considered a biodegradable, environment-friendly alternative to plastic bags. It is used in making of many utility products like rugs, pens, upholstery, tarpaulins, etc. It is also used in the production of paper, pulp, textiles, etc. It is also referred as the golden fiber as it provides huge revenue to the Mesta is an inferior substitute for jute. The fiber is more coarse and not strong as jute fiber. Wax for rough use as are made from mesta. It can withstand drought conditions. Therefore, it is grown where jute cannot be grown. Mesta cultivation is undertaken in some parts of Assam, Bihar, Odisha, and Kerala.
Odisha and
Kerala.
okay. What is the peculiarity of jute? What is that? It is a shiny substance. It is known as golden fiber.
Hmm.
It is called as golden fiber. Why it is called as golden fiber?
Provides
The
huge
government.
revenue to the government.
That is also there, but you just say that what is that color of it, and it is costly compared to the cotton. It is costly or it fetches money. Okay, so which is known as golden fiber? Jute. What is the material? It is a long, soft, shiny fiber. So what is the peculiarity? Long. Second word is
Sure.
soft.
So,
Soft,
And strong.
shiny.
Ah. shiny, and strong. This is what the peculiarity of this one. Jute is a golden fiber. It is a long, soft, shiny, and strong material. So, fiber making, this can be easy compared to the cotton. It's a plant, and this plant is long. That the stem of it is soft, and the material comes out is shiny. But when we make rock or other kind of what is thread, that is hard, that is not strong. Clear? So these all peculiarities are there for jute. And now this fiber and the plant from which it comes are commonly called jute, but there are different varieties. Before the independence, I'm just telling a kind of situation in which India is able to develop that jute industry. The Bangladesh, their supplies, their capital Dhaka is there. So it was a major producer of cotton. Jute. Major producer of jute. Now, after the partition, this went to East Bengal at that time and present day Bangladesh. But at the same time, the industries remained in India. And within a short time, we have to develop this jute to feed the industries. That is why some inferior qualities of jute had to be grown. Did you understand? After the partition, this went to Bangladesh. Industries remained in India, that is around Hooghly region. Now to feed that industries, we had to develop. So that is why some inferior varieties and that fast growing varieties had to be developed. That is why there are different varieties of jute is there in India. Two varieties can be there. One is white jute. White jute accounts for 75% of the total area under jute in India. It is hardy, highly adaptable, and grow well in both lowland and upland. So, what is that first one? White jute. Second is that Tosa. What is the peculiarity of Tosa jute? No, it is there in your book also.
Grown in uplands.
Uplands as it averts the flooding. Understood. So Tosa jute is growing in upland region. Now you know that many of the products that is nowadays we use plastic. Plastic is having a problem of non-biodegradable. So, in order to avoid the use of plastic, the government in 2005 introduced a policy, that is National Jute Policy. According to that, all the packaging material and all should be made of jute. We know that jute is costly compared to the plastic. Plastic would be available for 2 rupees or 5 rupees. But this one, jute products or jute bags are very costly. Earlier, jute sacks used to be there for that is packing that rice, wheat, and other things. That cannot be easily carried. How many of us carry that big sack? It's very you carry that big that one where rice and wheat. Okay.
Poti.
Yes. Eh?
No.
Goni बोलता है ना?
Goni, poti.
Poti. Okay. I'm first time hearing. Okay. So some schools there is sack races. Have you played a sack race? But so they used to jump inside that sack. So only for that purpose, I have seen that it is purchased when I was in school. So school authorities used to purchase the sack for sack race. Children used to many fall also. Because they are not practicing in that kind of job. No? Okay. So what I wanted to tell is that this type of packaging material are not so much comfortable for the people. So what happened? That government's 2005 national jute policy, they decided to diversify the jute materials. So that various other ways also jute is now in use. Carpets are there, designed bags are there, and so many ways this packaging materials are there. All this way, government encourages the use of jute. Still, that jute is not in common usage. When you go to the market to purchase a bag, we will see that what is the price. You compare that price. Okay, one jute bag is there, so minimum is 500. So we will prefer the other bag only. 100 में मिलता है तो 100 में मिलने वाला bag we are not using lifelong. So it should be available at a cheaper prices so that everyone could afford it. So that the jute will be used by the people. So as the cost is very high. Clear? Next one is that it is used for manufacturing rough quality cloth sacks and other packing materials. It is now used in the making of utility products like carpets, rugs, tile, upholstery, tarpaulin, etc. Have you seen tarpaulin? Tarpaulin, that is that plastic covering. Tarpaulin. So that is for that vehicle also, over that vehicle, then
Yes.
that is it. So all these materials are made from. Okay. Now another inferior quality is mesta. Mesta is another inferior quality substitute of jute. Nowadays market that 5 rupees, 10 rupees, minimum 10 rupees, that white color jute type of bag is available now. We are carry bags type. So that is made up of mesta material. Okay. It is the substitute. The fiber is more coarse and not as strong as jute fiber. Bags for refuse are made from mesca. This is used refuse only, that permanently we are not using. Now, climatic conditions. Who will read?
Me,
Ah,
climatic conditions. Temperature. Jute requires a hot and humid climate with temperatures between 24 degrees Celsius and 35 degrees Celsius and relative humidity of 90%. Rainfall. The annual rainfall should be more than 150 centimeters. About 2.5 centimeter to 7.5 centimeter of rain distributed in a month during sowing period is sufficient. Occasional showers varying from 2 to 3 centimeters at intervals of about a week are most beneficial for it. However, incessant and untimely thank you, untimely rainfalls are prolonged droughts are harmful. Soils. Jute grows best on the soil enriched by new alluvium brought by river inundation. Loamy soils are more suitable for jute production as the clay particles of loam help to hold the plant.
soil requirements, whatever is.
The clay soil gives the heaviest yield. Sandy soils produce coarse fibers.
Okay, so temperature 24 to 35 degrees Celsius and it requires hot and humid climate. Then average rainfall, how much? 150 to 200 centimeter. Means good rainfall is required. That is why mostly this crop is grown in that northeastern part as well as West Bengal, Bihar and all. That much part only this crop is grown. Why? Always that rain and availability of irrigation facilities. It require water, sufficiently water. That also evenly distributed. If any time that dry conditions are there, that is not good for the growth of this plant. Okay. Harvesting and processing. Sorry, method of cultivation. How it is cultivated when February on lowland and March to June on uplands. Sowing of the seed is done by drilling or broadcasting. What is the method? Drilling or broadcasting. Harvesting. So that is what the peculiar way the crop is harvested. The plant as a whole is plucked. What is that? The plant as a whole is plucked and then it is bundled and soaked in water. That process is known as retting. What is that? Plant as a whole is removed by July to September. Then it is bundled and soaked in water. That process is known as retting process. So retting process is used for which crop? Jute. For what purpose? It is for removing, peeling off that stems that cover and to separate that fiber. Understood? So retting process is done to peel off that cover and to remove that fiber. So nowadays it is done in that ponds and all artificially made. Earlier it was in the Hooghly River and all. So Hooghly River means it is having flowing water. So it can carry away that plant. That is why now artificial ponds are created for retting purpose. Clear? See, the crop is harvested from July to September. After harvesting, the plants are bundled and put in ponds for retting. After 20-25 days, when the bark is peeled off from the plant by hand and fiber is then removed from the pit. Then after washing and drying, it is pressed into bales and transported to mills. Jute is harvesting by hand by pulling up the stem. It is dried and stripped of unwanted leaves and is put in water and allowed to rot. When it is getting rotted only, that peeling can be done. This process known as retting. So one sentence answer define retting process. Verse 1, by submerging the jute into ponds and streams, but it's now done in special tanks. I told you artificial tanks are made. Clear? Where are they grown? West Bengal, Bihar, Assam, Odisha, Tripura, Terai region of Uttar Pradesh. Okay. So West Bengal is the major producer. I have told you when Dhaka has gone to Bangladesh, the jute industries were there. So to feed that industries, they started growing around. And that also mostly in the Hooghly Basin. So sometimes why jute is grown in the Hooghly Basin? Because of the favorable conditions, water availability, and labor. Because this cannot be done by machines, so lot of labor force required. So these all things are available in this locality. That is why it is grown in the Hooghly Basin. Clear? Yes. Now we are moving to the beverage crops. The first one is tea. Yes, you read tea.
Tea is an important beverage liked by both the aristocrats and common man. This is because of its unique taste and circulating qualities as a tranquilizer and mild stimulant. A Japanese folklore says that tea was discovered by an Indian Buddhist monk who visited China in about AD 500. However, it was Major Robert Bruce who discovered in 1823 that indigenous tea, which is grown wild on the hillsides of Upper Assam. Commercial planting of tea began around 1841. Tea seeds were imported from China and planted on the plains of North India. Gradually, tea plantation, which was largely confined to Upper Assam, began to spread to other parts of India, and new areas were opened up to tea. Prominent among these are Dwas and Terai in North Bengal, and the foothills of Uttarakhand and Himalayas around Garhwal and Kumaon. Europeans established tea gardens in the Nilgiris in South Africa.
See, British introduced that one as a plantation crop. It is believed that Buddhist monk discovered it, but it was established as a plantation crop by the British because they got a lot of income by exporting this tea. Different varieties of tea was exported. So one of the most important source of their income was tea export. So they have introduced this. Okay. So it is one of the most important beverage crop. You got the background, importance of that one. Tea is now also one of the most important export item. Now, which are the regions where it is grown? The Assam and Darjeeling, Kumaon Hills, that northeastern part, that is where that particular type of soil is available, laterite soil. So all these regions, and in the south,
Yeah.
A tri-junction of Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. That is a place called Nilgiris. That is the region where tea is grown. Got it? Now, climatic conditions.
Temperature. Tea is a shade-loving plant and develops more vigorous under light shade. The added maximum monthly temperature is 24 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius. When the maximum temperature is shade fall below 24 degrees Celsius or the minimum temperature below 18 degrees Celsius. The growth is retarded. However, high humidity, heavy dew, morning fog are good for the rapid development of young leaves. Rainfall. The tea plant grow well in the humid climate and cannot stand long stretches of the dry weather at any time of the year. It must have abundant rainfall, at least 150 centimeter well distributed throughout the year. In Assam tea areas, the annual rainfall average between 150 centimeter and 375 centimeter, while
This is what one most important 150 to 375 centimeters. So most of the crops which we studied, that is maximum, the rise we have seen up to 300 centimeters. No other crop we have studied, but this one 150 to 375 centimeters. So you have to remember. Okay. Now,
while it occurs in Darjeeling districts, it ranges from 250 centimeter to 500 centimeter. The tea areas in south receives heavy rainfall.
okay. So temperature from 24 to 30, but it should not be less than 18 degree. So it should be over 20 degree to 24 degree. That is what the requirement. Now rainfall is 150 to 375 centimeters we have seen. Soil. Soil.
Tea plant requires well-drained, deep permeable zones or forest, land-rich in organic matters. The soil should be gently cooled so as to prevent waterlogging. Therefore, to avoid waterlogging, which is harmful for the growth of the tea, which delicious tea is grown on high slope.
See what is the peculiarity? It requires that fertile soil, rich in nutrients, the humus and all, and mostly hilly areas it is grown. But the hilly areas, when they are growing in this roundabout way. Understood? So, why it is grown like that? In order to prevent that waterlogging and soil erosion also to be prevented. Understood? The fertility of the soil to be maintained, at the same time this soil erosion to be prevented. So, in a peculiar way, the tea bushes used to be planted. Clear? Now, that is what it is given. See, well drained, deep, friable lawns or forest land rich in organic matter. Organic matter means that remains of plants, plant leaves and all, which fertile that plant. Forest soil rich in humus and iron. These all things are required for its growth. Now, methods of cultivation.
Tea gardens are laid out on a cleared hill slopes under the shade of trees raised in advance. Belts of trees like silver root to sour and red berries are also raised on the border. Tea is cultivated in two ways. From seeds, tea plants can be raised from tea seeds. High quality seeds are sown in well prepared nurseries. The saplings are transplanted within a year in the proposed tea gardens at a distance of 1 meter on all fours.
See, what is that? First seeds are planted in the nurseries. From there, it is transplanted in rows at a 1 meter distance. So, seeds are sown in the nurseries, then from the it is planted in rows. Okay. Second method.
From cuttings. Each shrub can also be grown in nurseries from cutting of higher-yielding varieties. This is known as clonal planting, method of propagation of tea. When the saplings are 20 centimeter high, they are transplanted in the tea garden. This method of cultivation of tea ensures high quality and better yield, as the plant has all the qualities of mother plant from which the cuttings have been taken. Tea gardens are set up on hilly slopes because the high altitude provides the required climatic conditions. The slopes protect the crop from annual inundations and stagnant water rates.
See, second method is cloning method. What is that? From the high yielding varieties, that plant is cut and joined to other plant. From that cutting, when it is grown, that is having the quality of the mother plant as well as the new plant. That way, cloning is the second method. So one is from the seeds, it is grown in the nurseries and transplanted. Second is cloning method. Got the two methods? Yes. Aditya?
Ma'am, is
Huh? Yes, see, on or off. Okay. Aditya, you read it. Harvesting and processing.
Tina,
Yeah.
harvesting and processing. Pruning of the bush starts after 2 years in order to maintain the height and diameter of the plant.
Yes. One is that pruning to be done. Pruning is that cutting and leveling the heights. So after 2 years of planting, this pruning is done to shape it as well as for maintaining that height and diameter. Understood? So after 2 years, pruning to be done. Second.
Plucking of leaves. In India, picking is much more frequent. Second, tea is picked every 10 days during the growing season in lower elevations. Third, tea is picked every 15 days during the growing season in higher altitudes. Fourth, picking goes on. Picking goes on from early April to mid-November. Fifth, it is a skillful job usually done by women. It requires patience and judgment. Sixth, two tender leaves and buds or shoots known as fine plucking are usually plucked from each stem.
See, what is that? Tea leaves plucking needs expertise. What is that? You might have seen that women folk attach a big bag on their back, plucking from that both the hands and putting it in the that back bag.
Okay, back.
So it is from the from head onwards. It is kept. Why it is that from both the hands they need to remove or pluck the leaves. Tender leaves are plucked. It needed very much expertise. That is two leaves and that shoot. Understood? If it is grown more than that, then that quality of that leaf may not be so good. So in India, two types of plucking, that is, it is plucked 10 days during the growing season in lower elevations and every 15 days in that higher altitudes. So lower elevations every 10 days and higher altitudes every 15 days. Understood? So it is a labor intensive work, but they need a lot of patience and expertise. Plucking is a very difficult task. So they are using their fingers to pluck and learn that quality of that one, and then they have to remove. So that is what the first process. So second process, you processing.
There are four types of tea. Each is processed differently. Black tea, green tea, oolong tea, brick tea. Processing
Four types of black tea, green tea, oolong tea, and brick tea. So you might have heard about this one. Green tea you might have heard about. So that the faculty will be there. So all varieties are made in a different way. The processing are different. The first one.
processing of black tea, withering. The gathered leaves are first withered or dried in the sun for a day or two to extract moisture.
So first one, withering, spreading the leaves to get the sunlight for 1 or 2 days. So that is the first process. That is known as withering process. It is spread and dry at the sunlight.
Rolling. This twists the leaf to break its cells, exposing their juice to the air for fermentation, which helps to give tea its special flavor.
So that the tea leaves have to be rolled, twisted to extract that fragrance of that. That is what a rolling process.
Fermentation. Leaves are allowed to ferment, and this reduces the amount of tannic acid in the tea by half, but does not impair its flavor.
So it is a fermentation. See, normally they used to keep these leaves on that by giving that moisture. Understood? So when it is kept, it did not lose its flavor, but it allows to ferment. Fermentation, you know that idli, dosa, so atta banana ferment. That way, tea leaves are also kept piled up to ferment it. Okay, moisture is allowed to form.
Drying. Leaves are placed on conveyor belts in an oven to dry them and give them black wood by roasting and drying the leaves.
So it is not exactly roasting it. It is kept on. That means from down. This heat is given. Understood. And the top, by layers, it is kept, and the smoke is allowed to go there in order to make that leaf to get black color. Understood. That is smoke is allowed to reach there to get a black color, because black tea only we need to get. That is the major item of export. So for getting the black color, a process of mm, drying, that is not on the sunlight, by giving smoke. Okay. Then next.
Blending. Experts, blenders, and tea food tasters further blend the various grades of tea to give it special aroma and make more properly.
Blending it to get a special aroma. Say, we are getting different varieties of that tea leaves are there, bigger size, smaller size, and particle type. So it is a process done by blending it, not losing that aroma. When we go to that Munnar, the high range region of Kerala, that Nilgiri part, this processing can be seen within the tea plantation. Large plantations are there. Within the tea plantation only, these all processes are done. It is not allowed to go out of this, because outside by transporting, this aroma will lose. At the same time, the quality also will lose. In order to complete the process within a short time, they are doing it in the tea plantations within. Next.
Processing of green tea. The preparation of green tea in which leaves are heated immediately by roasting them over hot iron pans and are later rolled.
So for green tea preparation, it is not dried outside. What they are doing, the picked up leaves are heated immediately by roasting them on hot iron pans and later rolled. So instead of drying it on the sunlight, they do it immediately by heating it up and rolling. Okay, second.
Then the leaves are dried, graded, and packed.
Afterwards, the leaves are allowed to dry and then packed and sent.
Processing of oolong, it is prepared by partially drying and fermenting the leaves.
Partially drying and fermenting, that is what the oolong. So we have seen first black tea, how the preparation is there. Second, we have seen green tea, how it is prepared. Oolong tea is partially drying and fermenting.
It's processing of brick tea, the leaves and the stems and tea dust are compressed into rectangular blocks.
See what happened, the leaves and the stems. Here, while plucking, little stem part also used to be taken, and then all those things are pressed in rectangular blocks to make it a little bigger. While making that powder, this one is little bigger in size, as it is made in the rectangular block. Okay. Assam, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu and Kerala are the major producers. Now let us move to coffee. So who did not read? You also.
Coffee.
Hmm.
The coffee plant was introduced in India by a fakir Babu Gada. During the 17th century, he brought the seeds from Arabia, and the first seedling from these were raised in the Babu Budan hills in Karnataka. Coffee cultivation became more formally established during the earlier decades of the 19th century, but it was spread to several other districts in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Varieties of coffee. The varieties of coffee grown in India are the following. First, coffee robusta. It is grown in the lower elevation between 300 to 610 meters. Districts of South India where coffee arabica does not poorer quality coffee does not thrive well. It is also more hardy but yields poorer quality coffees. It can survive even in arid conditions and it is disease resistant. Coffee Leprechauns. This is hardy and disease-resistant species, suited to lowland rather than upland conditions. It gives heavy yields of moderate quality coffee. Both Robusta and Liberica are particularly suitable for making instant coffee and are thus gaining greater importance. Coffee Arabica. It is the finest coffee, but it is very delicate and susceptible to leaf and other diseases. It is grown in over 60% of the area under coffee on slope ranging from 750 to 1,500 meters high. Its main varieties are chicks, boots, Kent, Margaux, Bordon, Amarillo, Blue Mountain, etc. It produces superior quality beans. The hectare yield ranges from 600 to 500 to 600 kilos.
Okay, so you have to understand there are three varieties, and this coffee was brought to India from what is it, Yemen actually. It is written Yemen, uh, Arabian.
Arabia.
So one of the Arabic country will be Yemen. So from the Baba Budan have brought this particular crop to India. And then he started this, he planted this on Budan hills. That is why that particular place and particular crop got the name. So who introduced? Baba Budan, and it was planted in that Budan hills of Karnataka. Now we have three varieties there in India. But one interesting fact I want to tell people, do you like coffee? Have you ever tasted? Yes, tasted like it. What is the peculiarity of coffee than tea?
It makes more like it does not make us sleep. It makes us active.
See, that is the peculiarity. That means when you are sleepy or like that, it is giving some energy like that. Or night time when you are studying or like that, one cup of coffee will energize. It is non-alcoholic type which give energy. That is what the importance of this coffee. Most of that Kerala prefer to have coffee in the early morning. That is, without coffee, they cannot have the life sustained. So, anyhow, it is what is that, to drive out the sleep, that type of beverage. And there are three varieties in India. One is coffee robusta, and another is coffee liberica and coffee arabica. Three varieties. One is robusta, coffee liberica, and coffee arabica. See, actually, this is a tree, little bigger type of tree, and the seeds are grown. It is dried and then grinded into powder. Understood what is that? Coffee seeds are grown on a tree. It will be plucked, dried, roasted, and grinded. Then only coffee can be prepared. And sometimes what they used to do, some of the marketers or businessmen, they used to ask one product along with that. It is called chicory. You know, not just like that powder, that is coffee powder. Along with that, chicory also to be added. That is what is the trick behind, I don't know, but it is giving little sedation type. So the drowsiness will go. That is why they are adding it. So otherwise, coffee powder as it is having a good aroma. But you may be getting that coffee powder that is Nescafe type, no? Other type of coffee you have tried. Hmm? Nescafe type brew and Nescafe, that is same type. The natural coffee powder is there. That coffee seeds are dried, roasted, and powdered. So when it is powdering, that one good aroma used to come. That is the peculiarity of coffee. That is when the place where it is grinding, it reaches to faraway place also. So that shows that it is of good quality. So these all things which we are getting is brew type or Nescafe type, that is another variety. Okay, because it is packeted type, so it's not natural. Okay, you got three varieties, only that names you have to remember. No need to explain all those things. Okay, which are the three varieties?
Understandable.
Robusta and Liberica. Now climatic requirements, 15 to 28 degrees Celsius temperature, 150 to 200 centimeters, well distributed throughout the year. Soil, well drained, friable loam soil, rich in vegetable matter. That is mostly that South Indian conditions are suitable, especially Kerala and Karnataka are the major coffee producing areas. Coffee is propagated from seeds or cuttings in a nursery, and after a few months the saplings are transplanted. Plants are positioned 3 meters apart. Means it is growing into a tree, not so much high, but more than a bush of tea. So coffee is like a small tree. So it should be 3 meters apart. Ah. They are pruned annually to ease picking and to ensure heavy bearing of coffee berries. So berries of coffee that is like so much that bunch also it can be formed. So in order to allow it to grow properly, pruning to be done. The tree is kept to a height of 1.5 to 2.5 meters. More than that, if it is grow, it is difficult to remove that berries. Harvesting of coffee usually done in the 4th or 5th year after the plantation. Coffee picking is done by hand by removing the ripe berries from the stalk.
Completed.
It is to the thing, wet method or parchment method, dry method or native method. Okay, you can see that coffee is
Coffee farming.
Yeah.
Coffee farming.
coffee farming, coffee, tea, and what is that? Cotton.